My girlfriend and I have been together for 5 years. She's 44 and I am 48 years old. I love her and I was planning on marrying her. I had already bought an almost $9,000 engagement ring. I was planning on proposing to her this Christmas, but that all changed when I caught her cheating on me. I don't drink, so when my neighbor invited me and my girlfriend to a small pit party in her backyard, I turned her down and opted to go to bed early since it was Sunday night and I have to be at work at 5 a.m. in the morning. My neighbor enjoys hosting parties in her backyard at least once a month, and she would invite other people in the neighborhood. The neighbor was my girlfriend's best friend, and she goes over often, so it wasn't a big deal to leave my girlfriend there. I went upstairs and went straight to bed. A few hours later, I woke up to go to the bathroom. It was around half past 12 a.m. Looked across the bed, and my girlfriend were not by my side. I guess she was still at the neighbor's party. I walked to the second bedroom upstairs that has a window facing the neighbor's backyard to see if the party was still going on. But what I saw changed my life. I could look over the neighbor's backyard from my upstairs window. There were just three people left: my neighbor, her twin brother, and my girlfriend. I saw my girlfriend sitting next to my neighbor's brother. I continued to watch as my neighbor then began to walk away towards her house. My girlfriend was looking to make sure my neighbor had gone into the house. Then she pulled her chair closer to my neighbor's brother, and to my horror, I watched them inch closer to each other and began to make out. I cleared my eyes to make sure that it was really my girlfriend, but sure enough, it was her. She clearly was the initiator. I ran back to my bedroom and got my phone. I attempted to take some pictures from the window, but as soon as I pulled out the picture app, they stopped kissing. My neighbor was coming out of her house, which was why they stopped. I took some pictures anyway, but they weren't that clear. Then my neighbor went back into the house and they continued to kiss, and I took more pictures. I couldn't believe what I just witnessed. It appears that I have been at the right place at the right time. I wasn't sure how long this has been going on, but just to make sure that it was her, I immediately called her cell phone and she looked at her phone to see who it was, then looked up at our house, straight at me. It was dark, so she couldn't see me behind the window in a dark room staring at her. She then screened my call and went back to flirting and touching the other man. I was so enraged. I wanted to go downstairs and kill both of them, but I was in such a shock that I couldn't move. Few minutes later, they got up and put the fire out. I saw her bid him farewell and walk through the fence gates towards our house. I heard my front door open and heard her staggering up the stairs. I was waiting for her at the top of the stairs. She was startled to see me up because she thought I was asleep. She was clearly tipsy, but was fully in control of her faculties. I asked where she came from, and she said she was coming from the party. I told her I caught her kissing the neighbor's brother, and she tried to deny it. I told her that I saw them kissing through the window, and told her that I got it on camera. She started crying, saying that she was drunk and made a mistake. I asked her how long this has been going on, and she said it was the first time, and it was only a kiss. I was so filled with rage to even question her that night, realizing that this might turn physical because I was filled with emotion. So I decided to just go to bed. I told her that she should sleep in the other bedroom. I couldn't go to sleep that night. I stayed awake, staring at the ceiling. I couldn't believe that this was the second time she cheated in her relationship. She cheated on her prior husband with his friend for 4 years. I know it should have been a red flag. She has no loyalty. I guess what they say, once a cheater, always a cheater, is true. Like you all said, I dodged a big bullet. I couldn't believe that I was thinking about marrying this 304. The next morning, she kept on apologizing. The other man is 38 years old. He comes around the neighborhood often, and I happen to have his cell phone number. So I messaged the guy saying I saw him kiss my girlfriend. His response was that she kissed him first, and that he understands that trust in my relationship has been broken, and that, quote, you guys should just go your separate ways. I know he's right, but still, can you believe this guy? Being the angry guy that I am, I called him all kinds of names and promised to beat him up the next time I saw him. I'm sure he's afraid to show up in this neighborhood. I'm not a small guy. I used to compete in Miss Martial Arts. The other part that kind of stabbed me was that I thought this dude was a cool dude. And he's right. She was the one that initiated the kiss. When she moved in on him, he kind of backed away a little. Like, what are you doing? And she kept on moving in. I told her what hurt the most is it wouldn't have happened if she hadn't instigated it. But time for reflection is over. I am done with this relationship. I guess I am lucky, as I mentioned. No financial ties or kids to her. So when I walk with a broken heart, anger, betrayal, and resentment. Of course, when I leave, I am going to have the thoughts in my head if they are hooking up or not. Or is he over there? I am sure with time, those thoughts will fade away. I will also tell all her friends and family members how much of a 304 she is after I leave her. It will also rip her heart out once I mention the ring I had been waiting for. The thing is, she only drinks like 3 times a month and doesn't get drunk usually. So she wasn't an alcoholic or anything. I didn't tell her about the ring, and I'm planning on returning it. I can tell she has a lot of regrets for what she did and reassures me daily how much she loves me. But then that night came to mind, and I asked her what about that night. You didn't love me? She said she honestly doesn't recall kissing him. I told her it's bad enough you guys kissed, but the fact that she made the move on him hurts the most. I don't drink, so I saw what I saw. And I have evidence on my camera, although the camera is not that clear. But you can make out 2 images of people kissing. She no longer denies that I saw it and believed it happened. Now, at this point, the hurt is gone, but now have resentment and I'm turning rude, mean, and distant. She said she wished she had us back. We all fear being alone. After a certain amount of time with someone, I feel like I failed as a man and let a woman I love get away from me. She said she doesn't love him and things just escalated and that she doesn't have feelings for him or wants to be with him and it was just an accident. I told her I would definitely leave and I don't care if she wants to be with him or not. Her reply was that she doesn't want to be with him and I should please stop thinking like that. However, if I let her stay, then there will be no trust in the relationship. The neighbor is my girlfriend's best friend and she is single. Her brother is her twin and they are very close. He comes around to see his sister. So every time this guy comes around, because he is her twin brother, and I'll be paranoid and ask questions like, would she rather be over there? She suggested that we sell the house and move out of the neighborhood because she thinks I'll be thinking of that night anytime he pulls in. I have told none of my friends about this as I am embarrassed to tell them that I got cheated on. On another note, not sure I mentioned it, but I guess I am a little scared of the big change, finding my own place, being alone. I guess I have to ask myself, do I want to sit in resentment, anger, and wondering why all the time? Or do I want to face the fear of the big change, knowing the fear will eventually go away? Our current house is 2 years. The house is in my name, but she wouldn't be able to make the mortgage payment without me. She knows it and is scared. The neighbor's brother she made out with would move here. He has his own house, and now he knows she's a cheat. I have to remind myself to act like things are okay or back to normal. How can she think I'm just okay with what she did? I asked if tables are turned. Would she leave me? She said yes. I guess on a good note, I get to walk away scot-free. She will be devastated when I leave, but too bad for her. She made her bed. Now she should lay in it. She thought a kiss from a younger guy that was more attractive is worth our 5-year relationship. Now she can live with that decision. I am 100% sure I was leaving, as I could barely look at her in the face. I don't believe her I love yous anymore. She can now be the neighborhood skank, as that's probably what I will use her for until I leave. The other man knew we were a couple. He has known us for 2 years. He is as much of a piece of work as she is. Like I said, she will be devastated once I leave. All her friends will be notified by me, and I will inform all the neighbors as well. I keep thinking that maybe my lack of affection or lack of hanging out with her, as I don't drink, is to be partially to blame. I am not the most affectionate guy, and she seems to need that, as the problem may stem back to me. I still don't think her going behind my back was okay. She was definitely seeking attention she felt I didn't give her. 2 weeks later, I am looking for another place to relocate. My soon-to-be ex-girlfriend thinks that all is forgiven, but the sooner I get out, the better, so I can move forward and beyond this. I heard that the neighbor was having another party. As I sat out in my garage, and all the neighbors at the party were present, except for the other man. I haven't seen him since I caught him kissing my soon-to-be ex-girlfriend. It gets harder and harder not to throw it in her face every day what she did. As embarrassed as it was, I already told the neighbors that were present about the affair. They all know how to watch their husbands around her. She won't be able to stay here after I leave this house. The shame and the fact that she can't pay the mortgage without me will drive her away. Not only does she lose me, but also her new house. It was her choice to choose what she did. I sure hope that kissing was good, because it's going to cause a lot of agony. A week before I leave, I am going to appear like all is forgiven that whole weekend. Then bam, I'll be gone, with a huge explanation of what she did to me, and how I had a ring waiting for her on her favorite day of the year, Christmas. That would never ever happen now. Like I said earlier, I dodged a bullet. It would have been a lot worse. I think about that all the time. This hurts me still, yet today, and it happened 3 weeks ago. The reason the neighbor all knew was because I went door to door telling them about the affair. And if they knew anything, some of them said she was flirting with the other man when the party started, before she got drunk. They all agreed not to say anything to her. She's a cheater and cheated on her past relationship and wrecked the man before me. She ended up leaving her ex-husband, and he never recovered from the divorce. She used this settlement to make a down payment to the house we are currently staying in. Now he's an alcoholic and has been single for 9 years. It's sad she did the worst possible and went for his friend. That's low, destroying multiple relationships. I don't know what made me think she was a good idea to date. I agree living without an explanation may be the best way to go. I know mentioning the engagement ring would be a good stab in the heart. Update. Last night, the neighbors had another party. The other man was over there. I told her she was more than welcome to go to the party over there. She got all defensive, saying I'm trying to get rid of her, and she doesn't want to drink over there anymore. I asked her also whether the other man texted her to come over, and she also got upset and said no. I believe the other man had a girlfriend with him that night. I heard he just started dating. It was dark, so I couldn't tell if she was a neighbor sitting next to him or a new girlfriend. If it were a new girlfriend, who I believe he was dating when he made out with mine, I would have gone over there in front of everyone and told her what happened Labor Day weekend, why she wasn't there. I don't know, maybe I'm putting too much thought and energy into all this. I would have liked to walk up there and confront him, but I'd rather not go to jail for knocking him out. Do I think that's the only time they kissed? I don't know. I have my doubts. Do I think they had excess? I am 95% sure that they didn't do that. I know her schedule day to day like the back of my hand, and there is no way that would have happened, although I could be wrong. I have been looking for places to move to, and there isn't anything decent available. Is it wrong for me to have anger towards all the neighbors for not one of them at least saying, hey bro, your woman is out here flirting with so and so? I mean, come on. I checked her phone and she erased his number. I feel weird checking her phone like she's 16 years old. She did not go to the party. She said she's done going over there, but I'm sure as soon as I leave, she will be over there, which is fine. I am always going to have that thought in my head after I leave if she's with that guy. I know some of you said she just wants me to pay the house, but I truly believe in after 5 years, I know her pretty well. She's so sorry for what she did, but I am not going to excuse that one bit. She's going to be hurting when I leave, and not only because she's going to be losing the house, but she also knows she messed up. I made a point not to sleep in the same room, and I am distant since the affair. I told her today that she would eventually have to sell the house, but not to move away with me. She started crying, and now it's beginning to sink in that I would never forgive her. She's so worried that I'm going to leave that she wants to sell the house so we can start over fresh. No matter where you go, there is always neighbors. It could happen anywhere. I told her that I despise coming into that neighborhood and being in that house. She asked me why I said that, and I said because I saw you cheat on me there. Some of you are asking, why was it normal for her to have his numbers saved? He's just the brother of a neighbor. Have they been in communication for how long? She and we have a side business, painting and refinishing furniture. When we first moved in, he asked us to paint a dresser for him. Well, we had to get the customer's number to let them know it's done. The other man doesn't live in our neighborhood. He comes over to party with his twin sister that he is close with. Not sure how long after he picked up his stuff, they started communicating. But at this point, I almost rather not know. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I would have taken what she did one step further and have excess with another chick, recorded and showed her. But I am more mature and realized two wrongs doesn't make it right. I am sure the loneliness is going to hit hard after 5 years of being with someone when I move out. It's just something I'm going to have to face, I guess. I'll be moving to a couple of cities away. I already have my stuff into storage, so when I'm ready to fully get out, which hopefully is very soon, I will be able to move the rest all by myself. I will wait till she work a 12-hour shift, which will give me plenty of time to get the rest of my stuff out. I am definitely moving out. It's going to happen. I have no family members left in my state. My parents are gone. They had another party this weekend. The other man was there. I am sure they're all talking behind my back. It took everything for me to stay inside the house and not walk over there and do something stupid. Because if there's one thing I don't put up with, it's disrespect. I asked her last night. I'm like, so what's the reason why you did it? And don't blame alcohol, because I'm not going to accept that. And all she said was, believe me, I don't want the guy, okay? And gave me no further explanation why she did it. I told her if you think he's better looking than me, or whatever, feel free to have him. I don't know. I think I'm putting too much thought into this. It won't be too long, and I'll be out, and I can move on with my life. And her life will be upside down real soon. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Please feel free to like and subscribe. I sense that she may have been cheating on him and it just wasn't only a kiss. There probably was much more than just a kiss. If you believe so, or if you don't, please express your opinion on the comment section. Thank you and